Here tonight is Josh McCall.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for coming out tonight. I walked into school this morning, as I do Monday through Friday in Gainesville. I've been a teacher for 14 years now. And one of my students came in to announce to me that he found out where I stand on the political spectrum. I thought this was interesting. I said, so what did your website, where you were taking this quiz, tell you where I stand? And he said, you, according to this website, are left authoritarian. So I take a look at this website, and it is clearly designed by Republicans. There's a big picture of sun-kissed Caligula, I won't say his real name, on the front of the page. And I realize that he has been trapped into an old game that Republicans play, and unfortunately, Democrats want to play along with too. You see, I think that some of the most evil, wicked people in the history of this world are the people who had the power to draw maps. If you look at the maps drawn across the Middle East and Africa at the end of World War II, some of the worst bloodshed that we've seen in our time, some of the greatest evils were because of these people with bad intentions and bad motives drawing these maps for profit and power. And people are still drawing those maps today. But I don't think we should play along with those maps, because you see, the people who draw these maps of where left, right, and center are the same ones who led us on the path to the Iraq War. The same ones who said on the campaign trail, I'm going to pull us out of Afghanistan, but then doubled down on Afghanistan once he got power. These people drawing our maps are only trying to draw the maps to keep their own power. I do not care what Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, CNN, or Claire McCaskill say, what is left, right, or center. I believe that what we've got to do as Democrats is to draw our own maps, where the center of the aisle is what makes us human. I'm running for the 9th District of Congress, excuse me. I'm trying to get all my message out, and I will come to that, I promise. The reason I want to start at our common humanity is because as long as we allow the map to be drawn around who we like or who we hate, we will always be divided. When actually, if you look at the polls, Republicans and Democrats on key issues are closer than we often are led to believe. Healthcare. 60% of Republicans, which is actually more than the elected Democrats in Congress, agree with Medicare for all. We are so much closer than we're led to believe. It's because of who we allow to draw these maps. I believe that what makes us human makes us equal, and that no matter who your neighbor is, they all need health care, they all need a job, and they all need education. And that's what's at the center of my platform. It is time for Democrats to stop chasing the mythical unicorn of the Republican swing voter. It is time. That is what led those 3 Democrats today to vote for one of the most vile, hateful people in the history of this republic for Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo. 3 Democrats, because they are chasing that mythical creature, the Republican crossover voter. I believe we have to tell our own story, that we have to stop reacting to every tweet that comes out of Trump's fingertips. We have got to start offering an alternative to the American people, and we've got to meet them at their common humanity. Nobody should die because they're poor, and nobody should be poor because they're dying. I believe that health care is a right, a fundamental right of our existence. There is nobody, when we look around, who wants any of our family members to die or to be in pain when we can stop it. The wealthiest nation in the history of the world, if it can't afford health care, it certainly can't afford to bomb Syria or invade Afghanistan. In the 1940s, in the middle of the Great Depression, we reached full employment as a poor nation. As a $19 trillion economy, I believe that we can reach full employment again with a new Green Deal for the 21st century. A new Green Deal, investing in sustainable energy that will pull us out of the Middle East and these wars for wealth and power and these ego games for would-be dictators, And it would put us back home, and it would place patriotism right where it needs to be in our neighborhoods, with sustainable jobs that are both robot-proof and Republican-proof. I believe in a New Deal for the 21st century, a bold investment in our economy. The engineers tell us that we are $2 trillion behind on infrastructure spending, and that over the next 20 years that will cost us $4 trillion. It is both humane, patriotic, and economically sensible to invest in our future up front, rather than investing in the punishment that we get on the back end of not investment. And finally, I believe that we need to reorient ourselves. We assume that war is the norm. We have got to return to where war is the absolute last necessity after an attack by another country on our country. I believe that we need to actually have a new GI Bill, not only for people who serve in the military, but also for people who would like to sign up for domestic service. Because the elderly in our neighborhoods are much more likely to face the pain of being alone or moved into a nursing home because they can't afford in-home care than they are to ever face a threat from a terrorist from the Middle East. Our children in poor neighborhoods are much more likely to face violence and poverty, often from the state, than they are ever to face an enemy from another country. We must invest in a civilian conservation corps, revive it, or use the currently existing structure of AmeriCorps to grant every young person a year-for-year scholarship. 1 year of service, 1 year scholarship to school. Serve your community and earn your way to get a scholarship to technical school for 2 years of service or to a bachelor's degree for 4 years of service. Let's make patriotism a community affair again. My website is McCallforall.com. I need your help. I do have a primary opponent, Dave Cooper, and I will be in a debate with him on the 30th, Monday, in Gainesville at the Civic Center at 6 o'clock. Thank you for your attention. Have a good night.
Good job. So as you can see, we have really qualified candidates.